Um, this video is pretty random. I just got home from work. I got home, I got out early and I went shopping around, of course. You know, it's very dangerous getting out early from work, especially when you have plenty of time to get home. And so I stopped at a couple of Walmarts and a Home Depot, maybe Trader Joe's, but maybe Dollar Tree. Who knows? But I definitely got some goodies. I did go a little crazy, but I mean, that I didn't really find, and they're very well stocked with plants, but I didn't find anything crazy that I had to have. So I actually walked out of there empty handed, believe it or not. And I stopped at one Walmart and they didn't have very much of an update on their stock. They haven't had a new shipment since I was last there. And I stopped at another Walmart and luckily they were very well stocked. And I thought I wasn't going to find anything, but I actually found something there. And it's a plant that I used to have, but oh my gosh, I can't get out of the pot. It's a plant that I used to have, and I ended up selling it because it was getting big, and I didn't want to have really big philodendrons. So I sold it, and I regretted it. And lo and behold, found her at Walmart. This is a philodendron Pluto or caramel Pluto. This is the green version of the caramel marble. If you've heard of it, caramel marble is still pretty popular and it's still pretty expensive, but not as expensive as it used to be. You know how it goes. But yeah, I found it and a pretty good size, and it's got a new leaf that just unfurled. I absolutely love the brand new leaves on the Pluto because they come in this beautiful, I don't know what would you call this color? It's a it's a reddish, pinkish, brownish color before it turns fully green like this. And it's just so pretty. And I'm so happy that I found this there. So I'm actually going to repot it and you get to watch me repot it. Um, so let me put this down here. I did buy, if you've been to Walmart recently, they do have a good inventory of pots now that it's heading into the spring season, but it's still pretty early, which I don't mind, especially the spring stuff, the garden stuff. So I bought this weird looking pot for it, and I'm not sure, but because I think it's weird, I got it. They did have it in pink, like a pink and red, a green and blue, green and darker green, teal, but I decided to go with this one. I am not a bright colored having type of person, so of course the black. And then I stopped at Trader Joe's and let me get. Here is a plant that I found at Trader Joe's. Did I have to get it? I did not, but I thought it was so stinking cute. It's a philodendron sun red. Yep, philodendron sun red. And it's so cute, and obviously it's going to need to be repotted because it cannot stay in here. But how can you resist? I saw this at Trader Joe's as well. Isn't that cool? Yeah. I walked in there and this was the last one. I would have preferred a white one, but I'll take it. It's actually pretty cool and the sun hits it. And yeah. So that's kind of cool. And then it came with a philodendron lemon lime. Lemon lime or neon? I think it's lemon lime. And yeah, it's so cute. I love it. I'm going to hang it in here in my plant room where I get plenty of sun and it'll just light up my room. Okay, I got a little bit more comfortable. And now I went. on my way back home, there's a Dollar Tree. So I did stop at Dollar Tree, and they are pretty stocked up on their garden stuff. And, you know, I had to stop and see. Not all Dollar Trees are created equal. If you know, Dollar Tree is famous for not being well stocked, having all kinds of stuff in the middle of the aisles, boxes, carts. And that is true for the Dollar Tree near me, but they also did have some stuff, plant stuff, and they had some of these in packs of 3 for $1.25. And these are kind of cute. They're sturdy enough. You can use them as little cash pots or cover pots, if you will, or you can just punch out the little holes. They had them in these 4-inch sizes, or these, I think, 3-inch. I think these are 3-inch sizes. So there's 4 and 3-inch. And I think the 3-inchers are so cute. So I got a few of these in different colors, and we'll see what I do with those. And they did have some self-watering pots. You don't have to use them as self-watering pots, but they are self-watering pots. And I got some trays. I needed some more of these. And oh, here are some more pots. I went crazy at Dollar Tree. These pots are all $1.25 each. How can I not? No, they're not ceramic. Yes, they're plastic, but I mean, sometimes you just can't spend so much money. I already spend a lot of money on plants. So, I definitely, if I find cute pots at Dollar Tree, I'm gonna get them. So, here I got a couple of these fake wood type of pots, and I love these right here. Self-watering pots, or you can use them as self-watering pots. So, sniffing and licking. But yeah, oh, yeah, you're so cute. But anyways, Sammy wants to be in the video too. Self-watering pots. I got a couple of them. In this color. I got a black one. Oh, gray one, sorry. And then, oh my goodness. All right. I got this thing. It looks like a wastebasket or a bin, whatever you want to call it. But what am I going to put in here? I don't know. But I feel like a philodendron can go in here. A large philodendron or a monstera. A larger monstera. None of my monsteras are large enough for this pot just yet. But I mean, even if I just use it as like a cover pot, I think it'll be great. I think this one was $5, but still, I mean, $5 for this pot was actually pretty good. So I am going to get ready to repot this philodendron Pluto and the little tiny sun red. And yeah, let me get my stuff together and we'll repot. I'm going to have a hard time getting up from here. She got really comfortable. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this philodendron Pluto out of its pot, and then I'm going to figure out what pot I'm going to put it in. I know I bought this pot here specifically for the Pluto, but now I'm not sure if I want to use this one. It might be perfect for it, the perfect size, but I don't know. Let's get this out of the pot, out of its current pot. It is drenched, or the water is just, the soil is just so wet. Look at that. So I'm gonna get it out of this ickiness really quick. This is one of those philodendrons that you touch them a little bit and you can already smell them. They've got like this very very pungent aroma, kind of green, and to me, it's kind of like green, spicy, pungent aroma that some of these philodendrons have, and I like it. But you don't even need to break the leaves or anything. Literally, just touch them a little bit, and then you'll get that scent. Um, wow, this is very very wet. This is very wet. The soil that it was in. So I'm gonna try and get as much of it off. Without disturbing the root ball too much. But look at that. Oh, get it out of here without breaking it. I'm not gonna. Ugh, there's a hair in there. Um, I don't like to disturb the root ball too much because why? Not that you're wrong if you decide to take all of the soil off of the root of your plant before you repot it, but I prefer just to leave it alone. It'll do its own thing soon. So the roots aren't too bad on this. They're not rotted away or anything. The soil is very, very moist. It is swampy, if you will. So I want to get it into its new pot with some soil around it. So maybe that soil will just wick some of that moisture out. I won't have to water this after I repot it. So that's what I'm about to do right now. Let's get it into this weird looking pot. I would like to know what they call this. And I'll just fill the bottom up. And we'll just set it right in there. It actually fits really well in this pot. I thought this pot was going to be too small, but it's not. Let's see. Try and get some of this chunky soil around the edges of the pot, the walls of the pot here. I am so happy that, spring is near. Spring is upon us. We still have a couple more months and before spring, a few more months before spring, and I know that it can still snow or dump on us, as I like to say, before spring gets here, which it will. I'm pretty sure it will. But I am living for these really sunny days, that spring-like days that we have in between now and actual spring. Kind of gives us a break from the cold temps. It's still a little chilly outside, but it's very sunny, and up here in the mountains the sun is a little stronger, so it feels pretty warm when you're standing in the sun, especially while driving. Okay, that's filling out very well. Might need some more soil. And I love that these stores like Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, everybody is stocking up on their spring and gardening stuff already. It's awesome. That way we can, us planty people can get started on it early on if you haven't already been doing this year round. If you don't do this year round, I do this year round. I have a lot of plants. They need daily care. My plant room needs daily attention, which is fine by me. It keeps me busy. It keeps my brain busy. That's the one thing I love about this hobby is that, some people might say obsession. This is my hobby, and it keeps me busy. It keeps my brain busy, and this is why I appreciate it so much. it keeps me calm. It gives me something to do every day. You know, I could be doing other things. I can knit, I can crochet, um, watch a show, but nothing brings me peace and keeps me calm like tending to my plants. And this is why I enjoy it so much. It keeps me busy, and that's why I have so many plants. You gonna sniff the plant, sniff the soil. Oh, okay. That looks pretty much done. I might need a little bit more soil in there. I'm gonna tap. Needs some support. I never know whether I want to put a stake, you know, for some support, or if I want to put a moss pole on it. I don't know how one of these plants would do with a moss pole. I really like these philodendrons that tend to spread out in all directions, like all around. I like them to do that. If I put a moss pole, then they're kind of limited on that one side. So I don't know. I'll think about it. And I can't necessarily fit a moss pole in this pot, but I think for now I will probably just put a stake. And there she is. Look at that. I love that gorgeous new leaf. So pretty. Alright, I'm done with that one. I'm going to repot the little one, the little sunred. I'll check on the lemon lime philodendron to see if it needs to be repotted. I don't know that this little sunred needs to be repotted. Should you? Look how cute that is. Let's check this one out. There are the roots on the sunred. I mean, I can repot it, but it doesn't really need to be repotted. I can always just keep it in there for a little bit longer and in its cute little pot. And now for this one. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Whoa, it's blinding. Let's see. Oh man, if I can get it out. It's really jammed in there. Oh, got it. This one doesn't look like it needs repotting anytime soon either. So, but it's so pretty. I already have one of these. It's in my little community pot of trailing philodendrons, but I don't have one by itself. And since it doesn't need repotting right now, I mean, I can still check the soil anyways. See, it's not too bad. It's still okay. So I'll just put that right back in there, and the soil doesn't seem to be too moist, and it looks okay. It doesn't look like too bad. So we'll just leave it in there. I'm gonna go rinse it off, and then I'm gonna go hang it. Do you need to repot them all the time? No, you do not need to repot them all the time as soon as you get home. You repot them only if they are root bound or their soil is completely like just drenched and it's dripping with water. You just want to get it out of that wet soil as soon as possible to avoid root rot. But yeah, whenever I bring home a plant, I check the roots, and if it is root bound, then I will repot. But if it's not root bound, I won't repot it for a while, even if it's in that soil that everybody complains about from the nursery. It's not going to hurt it to stay in there for a little bit longer. You can definitely leave it in there. I think that it is okay to leave your plant in that soil as long as it is not soaking wet to where it will get root rot. But yeah, this one definitely needed to be out of that pot. I'm gonna actually use the stake that came with it to kind of support it. That works. This one is absolutely beautiful. I have not taken it to the shower to rinse off the leaves and spray it down. I probably should do that before I leave, before I let it sit here any longer in my plant room. You never know what might crawl off of it and get onto the rest of my collection. But yeah, this is super random repotting video and to show you what I brought home with me today from a few stores. Yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Please like and subscribe.